Chapter 11 Light. Let's begin. Light is an essential part of our life. Without it, we couldn't see the world around us. Light is also an important form of energy on which we depend every day. Light is an invisible form of energy which causes in us the sensation of vision. The branch of science which deals with the study of light and other various activities related to light is known as optics. You must want to know how light helps us see the things or objects. We are able to see an object when light from an object reaches our eyes. Our eyes send the signals to our brain, and our brain receives the information and helps us to detect the appearance, location and movement of the objects. During the day, we are able to see the objects with the help of the sunlight. But in night we see the objects with the help of electric power. You may see many different things such as birds, animals, vehicles on your way to school. You can clearly see their color, shape, size, etc. Do you think these objects would be visible to you as clearly even at night? Transparent, translucent objects, and opaque. Objects can be classified into three groups depending on the amount of light they allow to pass through them. These three groups are transparent, translucent, and opaque. Transparent materials are those through which we can see things clearly. Let me explain it. They allow the light to pass through them completely, hence we are able to see through them clearly. Cellophane paper, clean water, etc. are some more examples of transparent materials. Opaque materials are those materials which do not allow light to pass through them at all. We cannot see through these materials. Wood, metals, bricks, etc. are some of the examples of opaque materials. Translucent materials are those materials which allow only some amount of light to pass through them. Hence, we cannot see through these materials clearly. Wax paper, butter paper, smoked glass, etc. Sources of light. All the objects around us can be categorized into two categories: luminous objects and non-luminous objects. Luminous objects. Luminous objects are those objects that emit or produce light of their own. They can generate heat and light. The sun emits light energy, so it is a luminous object. Luminous objects can again be classified as natural and man-made objects. The sun and other stars are natural objects, whereas the electric bulbs, candles, electric lamps, etc. are man-made or artificial luminous objects. Non-luminous objects. Non-luminous objects are those objects that do not produce or emit light of their own. They do not produce heat. They become visible only when they bounce back the light that falls on them, and this light falls on our eyes. Moon is a good example of a non-luminous object. We can see moon in the sky only because it reflects the sunlight that falls on it. All planets including our Earth receive light from the sun. Do you know, you see the sun rising, 8:01 by 4 minutes after it has already risen. Light travels in a straight line. Light always travels in straight lines or rays unless it bends or bounces off an object's surface. This is known as rectilinear propagation of light. Let us do an activity to see the rectilinear propagation of light. There are a number of everyday experiences that can be explained on the basis of rectilinear propagation of light. The formation of shadows and eclipses is due to the rectilinear propagation of light. When the sunlight enters a room through a window or a ventilator, the path of light appears straight. Smaller laser torches are also based on the rectilinear property of light. The formation of day and night can be also explained on the basis of rectilinear propagation of light. Rectilinear propagation of light. Do you know how can we represent the propagation of light? We represent the propagation of light with the help of rays or beams. A ray is a line with an arrow that shows the direction of propagation of light. The very narrow path of light is represented by a ray, whereas a beam of light is a broader path of light and consists of several rays. Shadows. When an opaque object comes in the path of light, the light cannot travel further. The object blocks the light, and as no light passes to the other side of the object, but the light goes past the edges of it, creates a dark patch that can be seen on the surface. This dark patch is the shadow of the object. The shape and the size of a shadow depends on the source of light. It also depends on the position of the opaque object from the source of light. Features of shadows. The shadow depends on the shape of the object and the position of the source of light. No matter what the color of the object, the color of the shadow cast by it is always black. Some portions of the shadow may be gray. Other than the shape of the object, no details of the object can be seen on the shadow. A screen is necessary to form a shadow. The size of the shadow also varies with the position of the sun. We require three things for a shadow to form: an opaque object, a light source, a surface or a screen. A shadow cannot form if any one of these three is absent. Nature of shadow. The shape and size of the shadow also depends on the position of the light source, object and the screen. When the positions of the screen and object remain fixed and the position of the light source varies, the shadow becomes smaller. When the source of light is nearer to the object, the shadow becomes larger when the source of light is far away from the object. Mirrors and reflection. Mirrors. A smooth polished surface that bounces off most of the light that falls on it into the same medium is called mirror. Looking glass is the best example of the mirror. Reflection of light. The phenomenon of bouncing back of light from the surface of an opaque body is known as reflection of light, and that surface is known as reflecting surface. When you see your face in the mirror, the light falls on the surface of the mirror and bounces back. This light is captured by your eyes, and due to which you can see your face in the mirror. You know, we see the object when light coming from that object falls on our eyes. The ray of light that falls on the surface of the mirror is known as incident ray, and the ray of light that comes back or emerges from the surface is known as reflected ray. The point on the surface of the mirror where incident ray and reflected ray meet is known as normal. Regular and irregular reflection. Reflection also depends upon the nature of surface. It can be of two types: regular reflection, irregular diffused reflection. Regular reflection. When rays are reflected from a smooth or polished surface, they are reflected in one direction so that a clear image is formed. The reflected rays are nearly parallel. This type of reflection is known as regular reflection. A smooth, even surface like that of a pane of glass produces a sharp image by reflecting parallel light waves in only one direction. Reflection of light waves from a smooth surface is regular reflection. Irregular reflection. When rays are reflected from a rough surface, they are reflected in many directions and no clear image is formed. This type of reflection is known as irregular reflection. A wall has an uneven surface that causes incoming parallel light waves to be reflected in many directions is also an example of irregular diffused reflection. Difference between image and shadow. Shadows and images differ from each other in many ways. Image, shadow. 1. An image is formed when the light bounces back to our eyes from a reflecting surface. A shadow is formed when an opaque object comes in the way of the light. 2. An image not only has the shape of the object but shows all the details of the object. A shadow is only the outline of the object and has no details about the object. 3. An image has the same color of the object, no matter what the color of the object may be. A shadow is always black. Pinhole camera. A pinhole camera is a device which forms a photograph-like image of a bright object on a screen. It is mainly used to capture the movement of the sun over a long period of time. It is a simple camera without lens. It is just a box with a tiny hole in the center. The light from the object enters through the tiny hole and causes the formation of image on the other side. We can make a pinhole camera by using a rectangular card box and a tracing paper. Principle of a pinhole camera. Now, let's learn the working principle of the pinhole camera and find out why we get an inverted image. As light travels in a straight line, the light ray from the top of the tree A will fall on the screen at C after passing through the tiny hole O. Similarly, other light rays from point B will fall at D. The rays of light from each point of the tree will fall on the screen in between C and D after passing through the tiny hole. These rays form an upside-down image of the tree, which is an inverted image of the tree. Characteristics of an image formed by a pinhole camera. The image is upside down or inverted as compared to the object. It is diminished smaller in size than the object. The details of the object, such as color, size, etc., are clear in the image. It is obtained on a screen. Colors of rainbow. Sunlight appears to be made of single color, but it is a mixture of many different colors. This can be seen in a rainbow, which can often be seen when it rains on a sunny day. As you know, each color bends at a different angle. This is the same effect that produces rainbows in the atmosphere. When the sunlight passes through the raindrops, it splits into band of colors, known as spectrum. So, the raindrops act as a prism in the atmosphere.